Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Dr. Matt with ZPT, and it's Friday, time for your lifestyle nutrition tip of the week. Now, number one, no headset mic, trying out this nice little incognito shirt mic this time around. Hopefully, this will save the nice flow that I've been working with as of late. But number two is, as you can tell, I am not Crystal. Our lovely sports nutritionist is actually on a little bit of a sabbatical for the next few weeks as she plans a big move to New York City. Now, Crystal will be back on board with us in a few weeks once things settle down on her end. And until then, I'll be giving you guys the nutrition tips from here on out, okay? Now, I'm sorry I'm not giving you a food or diet related tip this week. On the other hand, we're going to look at something that's been near and dear to my heart as of late, and that is sleep. Okay, sleep is huge when it comes to rest and recovery and being able to perform at your best the next day. Ever since I opened up my own practice and seeing patients all day long, working on the business side of things, still training really hard and trying to produce this great content for you guys, something's got to give, right? And usually with a lot of hard charging athletes, high level execs, type A personalities, it tends to be sleep. It tends to be sacrificed a whole lot more than it should be. Now, all the research out there shows we need at least 7 to 7.5 hours of sleep a night to allow our body to fully rest and recover and clean up out all the garbage from the day before. You can kind of think of it as an analogy that when you shut down your computer at night, you allow it to reboot and get revitalized for the next day, right? Our bodies are the same way. We go to sleep, it allows us, our brain included, not only our body but our brain as well, to recharge and clean up all of our metabolic systems from the day before. So cognitively, it allows us to not only one, improve our cognitive function the next day, like decision-making capabilities, but two, our reaction time. So if you're dragging ass in the gym and it feels like your snatches and clean and jerks just aren't feeling as fast as they normally are, sleep is something you might want to look into. What is the quality like the night before? Physically, though, there are two big chemicals that get released as we sleep: growth hormone and testosterone production. Pretty sure I just caught your ears now, right? So what we find is that all this testosterone and growth hormone production is key for the rehabilitation standpoint, right? So if you're injured and you're trying to recover from an injury, we need these two hormones to be released at night to help speed up that process. But number two, if you're trying to improve your performance, I think I'd like a little more testosterone in my body when I'm training, right? Now, if you're thinking about going out and just injecting some from some guy off the street, think again, okay? I would rather not have to deal with the risk of shrinking my testicles. I think the safer alternative might just be to look at your sleep pattern, right? So, when you're sleeping, I want you to think about a couple of different things. Now, number one is your room dark and cold? Okay, this is kind of vital, right? It replicates kind of how we evolved over the years of sleeping in caves and whatnot. It limits the amount of light coming into our room, so if we limit the amount of light that's actually entering our eyes, and yes, even if your eyes are closed, the light can still get through your eyelids, and that makes your brain think like it's still daylight. Okay, so that'll start to impair your quality of sleep that you're getting each night. But the coldness allows our body to kind of shut down metabolically, and it puts us into this nice restful state. Okay, now I've been playing around with a couple of different tactics that have been helping me as of late. Number one is a caffeine nap. Okay. Sounds a little awkward, right? Well, what we find is that it takes about 20 to 25 minutes depending on how fast you metabolize caffeine. So if you drink a cup of coffee and directly lay down and go ahead and take a nap, we're talking like 20 to 30 minutes. We're not going like 2-3 hours like we used to do in college. Not happening today. 20 to 30 minutes is all we need to improve our cognitive function. So by the time that you fall asleep and that your alarm goes off 20 to 30 minutes later, that caffeine has now been metabolized and crossed the blood-brain barrier. And now you're getting not only a caffeine boost of energy, but also the cognitive boost that you get from actually closing your eyes and shutting everything down for a few minutes. Okay, I highly, highly recommend it. I've actually got my cup of coffee right here. Yes, this is Reese's. I am from the Hershey, Pennsylvania area, so representing right here. It's full of some very high octane coffee. I'm a very big coffee addict. I got in there crude oil coffee from the Power Athlete guys. If you haven't checked out that, you should go to their Power Athlete store and try some of their coffee. It is fantastic. Not only does it taste good, but it's got a huge caffeine content. So if you're like me and need the energy, it's your go-to. Okay. Number two, though, is actually a cold shower before you go to bed. This has been a game changer for me as of late. Go in at night after a hard day's work, do your normal showering routine, soap up, clean the hair, whatnot, but then turn the shower temperature all the way to cold. Yeah, all the way to cold. Now don't freak out. Try and control your breathing and try and stay in it for like a minute to 2 minutes. This does the same thing as keeping your room nice and cold and dark throughout the night. Allows the body to kind of shut down, take the blood out of the peripheral system, shunt it to the center, and allow you to get a more restful night's sleep. And I have been waking up way more recharged. I feel like the quality of my sleep is much, much better after taking these cold showers. I really think it's something that you should try and think about implementing into your nightly sleep hygiene routine. Actually, that's another thing. I think you should actually get into a sleep hygiene routine, right? If you don't have one already. So get into a system that tells your body that you're starting to wind down for tonight. So for me personally, I tend to start this process around 8 o'clock at night, depending on the night. I'll shut off all the electronics, so no TV, no phone, so you can't get a hold of me after about 8 o'clock at night. Sorry, not happening. I start the whole process of doing a little bit of soft tissue work, maybe a little bit of foam rolling, that type of thing. Do your nightly routine of brushing your teeth, taking your contacts out, doing all that type of stuff, flossing, and then hop into a cold shower. Immediately after coming out of the shower and drying off, this is where I lay down, let my brain recover a little bit, maybe do a little bit of light reading, and eventually doze off. You get yourself in the routine, your body will start to figure out that, hey, we're trying to wind down, and it won't keep your mind racing at night. If you do find that your mind is racing, write your thoughts down, okay? What we find is if you actually write everything down, your brain will kind of shut it off because you've put an external solidified source of your thoughts on paper, so your brain doesn't have to worry about remembering it for the next day. So, I hope you guys have enjoyed this little video on sleep. Please take it to heart, try and use some of the tactics, and don't hesitate to ever reach out to me if you have any questions on any of the stuff that I provide to you guys in these videos. Look forward to next week's nutrition and lifestyle tip, and I'll see you guys on the flip side. Take care.